Hello. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell to receive updates when we upload new videos. Audi has a slew of electric vehicles on the way. The company promises 20 new EVs by the year 2025 alone. Last year we saw the e-Tron crossover go on sale. Soon the e-Tron GT sedan will hit the market, too, and now the luxury automaker is adding another electric option to its growing portfolio, the Q4 e-Tron Sportback. This is just the concept, but when it goes on sale in 2021, the Q4 e-Tron Sportback will be the 7th EV the company has ever produced. A riff on the more traditional Q4 concept Audi showed last year, the Q4 e-Tron Sportback is a sleek battery-powered SUV with sporty design cues both front and back. Elements like the sloped roofline and sharp silhouette make the Q4 e-Tron Sportback a crossover coupe by definition, putting the EV in a similar class stylistically to gas-powered alternatives like the BMW X4, Mercedes-Benz GLC Coupe, and Porsche Macan. And that sleek new look gives the Q4 Sportback an overall drag coefficient of 0.26 to 0.01 better than the traditional Q4 e-Tron. But it's easy to mark the Q4 Sportback as part of the e-Tron family elsewhere. The Sportback's faux grille, with metal inserts, looks similar to that of the normal e-Tron crossover and nearly identical to the Q4 e-Tron concept's fake grille. The slim LED headlights mimic the Q4 concept too, but we expect something closer to the e-Tron's light fixtures when the final production model rolls around. And the rear LED light bar is a signature carryover from most Audi models. The Q4 e-Tron Sportback has an 82 kWh battery pack and two electric motors, one on the front axle, and another on the rear. The electric motor in the rear produces 201 horsepower, while the motor on the front axle adds an extra 100 horsepower. That gives the e-Tron Sportback a combined output of 301 horsepower, with power traveling to all four wheels. With that, the Q4 Sportback will hit 62 miles per hour in 6.3 seconds, and onto a restricted top speed of 111.8 miles per hour or 180 kilometers per hour. The Sportback's total driving range is an estimated 280 miles or 450 kilometers in metric units on the European WLTP scale, though that number will be less on the US scale. But, with a maximum charging capacity of 125 kilowatts, it takes the Q4 just 30 minutes to reach an 80% charge. Inside, Audi's virtual cockpit also carries over. A 12.3-inch touchscreen is located front and center, with an equally massive digital instrument cluster located behind the steering wheel. All that tech blends with a totally sustainable interior. Audi forgoes materials like chrome plating in place of paint and uses recycled materials on the seats and floorboards instead of leather. Audi also says the Q4 e-Tron Sportback has one of the most spacious cabins in the class. The EV's 109.2-inch wheelbase and flat battery pack offer increased headroom and legroom, both front and back, compared to some of the alternatives. And like most Volkswagen Group EVs, the Q4 e-Tron Sportback uses the versatile modular electrification platform. But remember, this is just a concept. The production Audi Q4 e-Tron Sportback won't show up until either late 2020 or early in 2021 before going on sale later next year. Audi is doubling down on its EV offerings by introducing smaller alternatives to the e-Tron and e-Tron Sportback SUVs. The 2019 Q4 e-Tron concept will morph into a production version by the end of the year, while the Q4 e-Tron Sportback concept premiering later today should get a road-going sibling at some point in 2021. Audi has set up a livestream on its YouTube account for the world premiere of the Q4 e-Tron Sportback, which should remain faithful to the concept before it. Knowing what the term Sportback implies when dealing with SUVs carrying the four rings, expect a more sloped roofline to enable a sportier side profile and sleeker derriere. The revised body shape should pay dividends in terms of aerodynamics, as we're expecting the Sportback to have a slightly lower drag coefficient than the conventionally styled electric Q4. However, rear headroom could take a hit, and there's a good chance the cargo capacity will have to suffer as well. In addition, the new derivative will likely command a premium, seeing as how Audi's Sportback badged SUVs are more expensive than the models upon which they're based. We will have to wait until later today to learn about the electric bits, although we're not expecting the Q4 Sportback E-Tron to be vastly different than the 2019 concept. As you may recall, the conventionally styled electric SUV had two motors for a combined output of 225 kilowatts and all-wheel drive, enough for a 0 to 62 miles per hour run in 6.3 seconds and an electronically governed top speed of 112 miles per hour. Its 82 kWh battery pack mounted in the underbody between the axles had enough energy for more than 450 km per WLTP. The sleeker shape could translate into a slightly higher range between charges, but that remains to be seen. Last year's concept had 125 kW charging capabilities, going from 0 to 80% in a little over half an hour. Based on the MEB platform like the Volkswagen Audi Q4, the new arrival is part of Audi's greater plan to have more than 20 electric vehicles on sale by the middle of the decade. The most exciting of them all will be the e-tron GT, a sister model of the Porsche Taycan scheduled to premiere before the year's end.
Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Subscribe to Auto TV.